As a YouTuber, we always need to spend a lot of time and effort on research. We need to know what's working for our channel, we need to check our analytics, we need to know what grows our channel, we need to know what videos work. And YouTube is kind enough to give us all the stats they can give us so that we understand our channel better, to learn how we can grow through data. But the numbers are quite overwhelming. It seems alright on the surface, but to really understand what's going on requires a much deeper understanding. So that means we have to muck around with the graphs, check out different analytics, understand what each metric means, and learn to translate those data into something meaningful. I don't know about you, but that sounds like a lot of work. I just want to create content. So I asked myself, what if I can get someone else to do the work for me? Then I will have more time to focus on my next content, right? But to do that, I need an assistant, and for a channel like mine, it is expensive to hire someone to do the research for me. So I leveraged my skill set and built an AI automated workflow to do the work for me instead. And I want to show you how I did it. To keep it brief, I use an AI workflow automation tool called N8N. Now, I don't want to dive in too much into what it does in this video. You can find a lot of videos on what N8N is on YouTube, but if you're interested, do let me know in the comments below and I'll see if I can do a video on it. Because now I want to show you what I have done with N8N to build myself an AI automated workflow that works specifically for YouTube. Alright, so here is my N8N workflow that I built. Looks overwhelming at first, but I assure you, it is a lot simpler than it seems. A workflow is pretty much a set of instructions to execute. If you think about it, everything we do is usually repeated. So what I essentially did here is break down all the little things I do into small executable steps. I'll first show you how effortless this is once done. All I need to do is hit the execute button and the workflow kicks off and does its thing, just like how I would do it if I were to do it myself, just a lot quicker and with more data. So I'll let it run for a bit. Alright, now that it is done, the AI agent then sends me a message on Telegram to give me a breakdown on what was analyzed, what is working, what is not, what to double down on, and some ideas on what topics to cover based on my channel's performance. So that's the workflow. Very simple and efficient, and it takes less than a minute to run. Research like that probably takes me hours. But let me show you how this workflow was built. So first, I set the date range. This is to tell YouTube how much data to extract for a given date period. The longer the better, of course, as that will give us more data to play with and will be useful for our AI agent, which I will show you more about that later. But for now, I will just go with a month worth of data. Then I want to extract all the relevant data from my YouTube channel, and I categorize them into 6 different categories. So we have channel overview, we have video overview, traffic source, playback locations, device type, and demographic. Each of these nodes are just API calls to YouTube API, which is free and available to use by anyone. All you need to do is set up an account. So once I extract the data I need to format it a little so that I can put them to use. Now, this section here is basically does all the formatting, where I then store the extracted API in a Google Sheet. Now, I don't really need to do this, but I wanted to make sure I am extracting the data correctly before passing it to my AI agent. So if something goes wrong later in my workflow, I can at least be able to tell if it's an issue with my data. I can easily reference it in the future. Anyways, here's the fun part, the AI agent. An AI agent pretty much needs 3 things only: an input, a brain, and instructions. And that's exactly what I'm doing here. Now, before I jump into it, I do want to remind you that each call to the AI agent actually costs money. The amount is not that big, which you will see in a second, but it does cost more depending on the size of your input and output. For my workflow though, I chose to use Perplexity. Now, there are definitely other models out there you can use like ChatGPT or Claude, but I chose Perplexity because I have a Perplexity Pro subscription and it comes with a $5 credit every month that I can use for my AI agent. I also want to quickly show you how much it cost me for that workflow run you saw just then. So here you'll see a total cost in the output of Perplexity, which should be right about here. Okay, so this workflow cost me only about 30 cents, which is really cheap considering how much information I want the AI agent to compute. But there you go. That's how you see how much it costs for a workflow like this. Now, this part can get quite complicated, which is creating the prompt for the AI agent. First, you'll need to give your AI agent a role. You can think of it like hiring someone and giving that person a job description. Now, of course, the more detailed you are, the better they can play that role. I want to go through what I wrote here, but as you can see, it is quite lengthy. I included not just the role, but also how I want it to output my result so that I can read it easily. Then we need the prompt itself, which is what we want the AI agent to do. This actually took me a lot of time to get it right because I need to make sure I give all the right input. And I want to do it in just one prompt, so I don't want to go back and forth like you would with ChatGPT. I just wanted to take in my input, analyze it, and output the analysis in one simple format. So that's my AI agent in a nutshell. I reckon it is the hardest part of all the workflow because it does take a while to test and get the right output I want to see. But still, even now, it is not perfect. But hey, at least I can change it however I want, whatever I want. And for the final part, I use Telegram to receive the output the AI agent spits out. It's actually not in a readable format, so I had to do a bit of formatting, then use Telegram to view what it is. I chose Telegram because it is free and it is easy to set up, and you can even delete the chat history after that. But here's what my final output looks like on Telegram. I have my KPIs to give me a summary of how I performed for the month. It tells me which video had growth, which video had good engagement. It tells me my top performing videos and its stats. I do need to tweak this one a little bit as it only shows me the video ID, which you can still look up quite easily, but still it would be good to see video titles instead. Then we have data that I thought isn't that important, but probably does affect the AI agent in some way. So we have traffic sources, devices, demographics, and views from playlists, which I do not have. Then the AI agent will recommend to me what actions to take, like the type of video to double down on and why, some suggestions on A/B testing, addressing engagement anomalies. So this is pretty comprehensive, I must say. And finally, it will suggest some topics I can try out for my YouTube channel. This can definitely be improved further, like maybe I can tell it to suggest video titles that aligns with my niche, but these suggestions definitely help direct me to the type of styles I can try, which is good. So that's my entire workflow. I now run it once a month or maybe weekly if I want to, and it just makes it a lot easier because I don't have to dread doing this. I think to run an efficient YouTube channel is also about reducing any mundane, repetitive tasks through automation, and I will definitely try to automate even more from here. Not just analytics and research, but I will show you more as I create them, so definitely subscribe if you're interested to see more. One last thing I want to add is I use Perplexity's Sonar model for my AI agent because I have a Perplexity Pro subscription. But I do think that if I use ChatGPT or Claude instead, I probably will get better results from my AI agent. I mean, Sonar is good, but probably better for research and not so much analysis. Anyways, maybe I'll change the model and give it a try, see what happens. But I'll do that in another video. So till then, thanks for watching and goodbye.